We have some breaking news. This has been a long thing in the making. All the party leaders have been calling for either a public inquiry or B, and this is unanimously agreed upon between conservatives, the Bloc, and NDP, which is like never ever seen before in Canadian political history. Have the second option of either a public inquiry have all chosen to call for David Johnston, the made-up special rapporteur appointed by Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Foundation, to resign. And guess what? It has happened. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Canadian democracy still exists. The special fake made-up rapporteur, David Johnston, has officially resigned as of minutes ago. We're going to get into it. This is incredible news. This means that either we're going to have a public inquiry or all the three opposition party leaders, Conservative, Bloc, and NDP, are unanimously going to have to come up with a certain other individual of their choosing to replace David Johnston's fake position as the special rapporteur. Before we get into it, I want to encourage you to give a like and subscribe if you're not already. Crack a beer. It's Friday. Man, you should be celebrating this. And before we get into it, you might notice I'm wearing a special hat. I want to talk to you about that right here with the link down in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. We can be matching. You can find your freedom attire. You got hats, you got shirts, you got hoodies, you got coffee mugs. Now is the time to celebrate Canadians' free democracy. We're seeing more and more so this stuff come to fruition. Without further ado, let's take a look at this beautiful special announcement. Right here, David Johnston resigns as special rapporteur on foreign interference. House of Commons passed a motion calling on Johnston to step down last week, and as you can see, 10 minutes ago. That's why you're subscribed with post notifications to Mr. Sunshine Baby. We're delivering you the immediate news 10 minutes behind government-funded CBC. Me by myself in my basement is keeping up with mainstream government-funded media. How incredible is that? David Johnston, independent special rapporteur on foreign interference, arrives to present his first report in Ottawa Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023, which had massive backlash and controversy, which is why you saw all three opposition party leaders, Conservatives, Bloc, and NDP, all say, no, that's not good enough. He's very biased and we're not accepting this. And finally, it has happened. David Johnston, tasked by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau back in March with looking into allegations that China tried to meddle in the past two federal elections, has stepped down from that role. I just want to take one more moment to applaud really quick. And if I had on my soundboard a yay or sound effect, I would definitely be doing that, because this is the time to celebrate. The government has been put under so much immense pressure from all three opposition parties, and the social pressure. I know it's so stupid and so silly to say this out loud and to hear it probably even stupider and sillier, but like, you're getting this stuff trending on Twitter, sharing these YouTube videos, sharing them to Facebook groups, sharing this stuff to Twitter, and making it go parabolic viral. The government literally cannot ignore these reactions from the Canadians. We're not talking about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 people. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, borderline millions of people out of 40 million population saying, hey, whoa, man, what's happening is wrong, and we're not going to stand for it. So we've been heard. The government has made a decision, and David Johnston has stepped down. I'm gonna crack a beer right after this, and it will not be a Bud Light. Since his appointment, Johnston has been accused of being unfit for the job because of his personal connections to Trudeau. No shit, huh? No shit. And you know what's hilarious? Well, at our financial expense, it's not hilarious. It's actually pretty sad. I don't want to talk about it too much because it might make me cry, but he was paid $1,500 per day for this role. $1,500 per day. And he was appointed back in, was it March? Back in March. That's what the article says. Tasked by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau back in March with looking into allegations. So you got March, April, May, and June, all 1,500 times, 3 or 4 months. That is insane amounts of money. I hope he has to pay that back or some of it back, because that's just ridiculous. The leaders of the Conservative and Bloc Québécois parties have both said that Trudeau and Johnston are self-declared friends and their long-standing ties are too close to allow Johnston to judge the Prime Minister's actions. Johnston has maintained that his work is impartial. Obviously not if you're removing yourself from the situation. In his initial report released last month, Johnston recommended against calling a public inquiry on foreign interference, despite opposition parties calling for one. Now, all parties, it's interesting that they didn't include NDP in this, because actually Jagmeet Singh has kind of been sucking up to Pierre Poilievre publicly a little bit about this, because he also thinks that David Johnston's special rapporteur fake position was not appropriate given the ties that they've had, or that he's had, to the Liberal Foundation. They've been cottage ski buddies. I mean, we've been just plastering these videos for months and months, and not only myself, but you got other people, other YouTubers, even the media has kind of flipped on the narrative, and the Conservative leader, and NDP hasn't really been too public about making videos about this, but they have made statements calling for public inquiry or him to resign. And finally the day has come. I can't wait to stop recording this and crack a beer, because it's Friday and I want to celebrate. Let's take a look at this video here of Pierre Poilievre talking about transparency. We don't have that yet. Our government is not transparent. This is taking too long. But I do want to say before I press play that this is a step in the right direction. That's why I'm like so excited about this, is it's showing that, hey, the people actually do have control. And these tiny little acts of the government submitting to not only other parties putting that social pressure, but the Canadian people contributing to the conversation shows that, hey, we're not a total lost cause. It's not as bad as what we thought. We know we're living in a totalitarian, oh my God, somebody correct me, country. We know that we're living with a prime minister who publicly admires the Chinese communist regime, but none of that seems to matter when you have the government submit to other parties and the Canadian citizens. So that's why I'm like so excited about this. It's like, hey, we actually have a chance of taking Canada back, or freedom. Freedom in Canada is still possible.
The Liberal Party has consistently raised the bar on openness and transparency.
For a period of approximately 4 months, I experienced a consistent and sustained effort by many people within the government to seek to politically interfere in my role as the Attorney General of Canada.
I made a mistake in not recusing myself immediately from the discussions, given our family's history.
Calls are growing for a nonpartisan public inquiry into China's attempts to interfere with our elections. You used to call yourself transparent by default. Why are you so resistant to calling such an inquiry?
Jody Wilson-Raybould is resigning her position in Justin Trudeau's cabinet.
Another email from Craig Kielburger that went to someone in the government the same day he spoke to Bill Morneau on the phone, but we don't.
You're seeing, the redacted documents from the Freedom Convoy Emergencies Act public inquiry. You're seeing the government submit more and more. You had the previous ex-Liberal member of Parliament, Hang Dong or something like that, who was at the center of this focus for the alleged Chinese election interference, and he resigned and went independent. Now you have David Johnston. People are leaving Liberals. People are realizing, hey, whoa, they come with a lot of baggage and a lot of controversy and a lot of backlash that we don't want. This is, again, I want to reiterate, just as we close up the video, this is taking way too long. No one's saying, oh, wow, just on time, 4 months. No, it's taken way too long. This should have been what's happened from the beginning, or, I don't know, picking somebody who wouldn't have put Canada and our democracy in this position. I get it. But the reality is, as the Liberals like to say, we've finally reached that moment where they've come to the conclusion and said, hey, we messed up, and he's resigned. And so We're going to take the W where we can take the W. That's where we're going to end the video. I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is this a massive W, or do you think that no, Canada is screwed? I am very optimistic, and I think that we can turn our country around and all of the problems that are currently existing. I think that we can do what's right and vote the situation out, get the right people in power, and take our freedoms back as a country. Make Canada great again. As Pierre Poilievre likes to say, bring it home. It's your home. It's my home. It's our home. Let's bring it home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as visit the merch shop, which is linked down in the description and in the pinned comment below. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do so by checking out the merch shop linked right up there. Or if you want to do something for free, which is also absolutely acceptable and highly encouraged, you can subscribe right there. If you want to continue watching videos like this, you can do so by clicking or tapping right there to watch the next upcoming video. And if you want to watch a little bit of different content, but also Canadian stuff, you can do so by clicking right up there. That's my second channel, House of Canada, also known as the House of Commons Highlights. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.